Are you ready to watch television via stream 100%? Are you ready to watch the NFL Sunday Ticket, which, according to sources, will be moving to YouTube TV starting next season, fully streamed? Are you ready to watch Pac-12 football on Amazon? Because, again, we believe, and now others are reporting that Amazon and the Pac-12 are still working on a deal.
Right.
Are you ready to watch Utah Jazz basketball on stream only? What if the Jazz are no longer on AT&T Sportsnet and no other broadcast TV? You have to have an app or you have to have a smart TV to see the Utah Jazz games.
Yeah, I think people would be thrilled. I'd be thrilled. I think people... Listen, I think that people have to get on board with the concept that like consumers are not just watching on TV. Like most consumers are watching on computer or smartphone. Like we need to get on board with that. And I think that while you have a large sect that does watch on TV, every TV now for the most part is a smart TV. Like it's just such easy technology to bake into a TV that pretty much every TV has it now, where you can have apps and it basically operates like a computer. So to me, this is very straightforward. Right now, to watch Utah Jazz basketball, if you do not have DirecTV, you have to have two services. Fubo TV is the best one. They allow you to watch AT&T Sportsnet wherever you are on your phone. So the problem is, though, that Fubo doesn't carry TNT. So you're not going to get the national games. That's the issue. YouTube TV carries TNT and basically everything you would ever want, but doesn't have AT&T Sportsnet, so you can't watch Utah Jazz basketball. So then you get into, okay, League Pass. Let's get the NBA app and pay $15 a month. Great value, right? Love that. Love that setup. Problem is if you're sitting in Salt Lake City, you can't watch League Pass.
That's right.
Because you're sitting in Salt Lake City. So then you have to play the VPN game, which is another $10 a month.
And I don't know, maybe I'm the oddity. You realize that I don't watch Jazz basketball ever. I'm watching, like last night was one of the rare times I flipped it on because the Detroit broadcast is dreadful. I flipped it on.
You don't watch the Jazz broadcast.
No, I don't watch their broadcast ever.
Yeah.
I usually watch the road broadcast with some exceptions.
Yeah.
And I have no problem doing that because I'm on DirecTV and
it's satellite. It's not internet.
Yeah, it's satellite. Yeah, so I don't have to watch the Jazz game. I can choose Jazz or the road team.
But that's my point. You were saying you dropped a stat on me the other day about how Utah's population right now, the predominant age group for Utah's population, what was it, like 14 to 34 or something, or like, you know, it was like 17 to 34 or whatever.
Yes, yep.
So that generation...
17 to 49.
17 to 49. Okay, so we know that a big sector of that generation is not TV going. We know that the top end of that generation is, right? Like your 40-something is going to be a TV watcher, right? I would even say your mid-30-something is a TV watcher. But the 18-year-old kid who's interested in watching Lori and trying to vote for Lori, they're not watching on a TV.
Well, and I like your point the other day, not to keep like shining each other, but your point the other day was so good about...
Oh my God, just like that. Oh.
About the fact that you cannot tell me it's comfortable, because I hate flipping between broadcast and stream. So I have a Samsung 70-inch TV in my living room.
Right.
And I have to use the TV remote to flip from, like DirecTV. I have to go into smart TV mode for Amazon or YouTube TV or whatever it is. And it's annoying as hell, dude. Like, I don't like doing it. It is a 2-minute process. And it's not fast, because then when you go to Amazon Prime Video, you got to click, okay, well, who's watching? Okay, well, it's my wife's profile. I click on my wife's little avatar. And then I got to, like usually for Thursday Night Football, it's got it right there. You click on Thursday Night Football, and then it gives you, do you want English? Do you want Spanish? Do you want stats? Do you want AWS broadcast?
Do you want to start from the beginning, or do you want to join live?
Do you want to, anyway, the point is, it just takes forever, it feels like. YouTube TV is far easier, in my opinion. If all of this was on YouTube TV, I would cut the cord and go to YouTube TV. Yeah. I would, but it's not. And if you put the Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV, yeah, I'll watch it. I already have a YouTube TV account. Frankly, we have a TV here in the studio that streams YouTube TV. That's how we watch TV during the show. But For my money, I'm not ready for that until all of it's in one place. If everything was on YouTube TV, I'm in. If everything was on Amazon Prime Video, I'm in. But it's not. So I've got to have an Amazon subscription. Okay, well, I'm going to pay $8 trillion for that. Well, now I got to have YouTube TV because that's where the Sunday ticket is. Okay, now I got to pay $8 trillion for that. And then I got to have your mom, and then I got to have like your cousin, like all of this crap. And by the way, well, the Jazz games are on KJazz, so I still got to keep DirecTV. So now I'm paying for what, 3 services?
Yeah, and that's like $400 a month, dude.
So that's why I say the Utah Jazz are a really important part of this. If I'm Ryan Smith, I'm going to KSL TV. That's where my games are going to be broadcast, on KSL TV.
Yeah, because that's on YouTube TV.
And why is that? Because it's available on every streaming service. It's available on every cable service. It's available on every satellite service. That's the wise play here.
Yes,
now,
yes.
From strictly a money-making perspective, I am investing the tens of millions of dollars it's going to take to create my own channel and have my own 24/7 content. I'm doing that. I'm doing what Marquee did with the Cubs. I'm doing it. I'm doing what Time Warner did with the Lakers.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what I'm doing because that's how I'm going to make money. But the issue has been for the Jazz is that they don't have, traditionally, they have not had the in-house assets to execute that.
Yeah.
So do you have that or do you not? Do you want to invest in that infrastructure? I don't know.
I think that's the bigger question. Does Ryan Smith actually want to do that?
Well,
That's
he has
my
spent
question.
a ton of bread on the building for the All-Star game. Like, he has spent so much money.
Which I think, frankly, has delayed the TV conversation. Like, not that he could do anything about the contract, but I think that if the All-Star game was anywhere but Salt Lake City, maybe the strategy and the timeline would be moved up. Maybe we'd be hearing more about, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Like I saw on the broadcast last night this Utah Jazz fan pass thing that they're doing, where you can buy like a mini pack of tickets or whatever. Why have I not seen that anywhere else? Why is that not out on social? Why is that not out like in other places? And I get it. We've heard all season long and even before the season in the off season, like we've had information that they were short-staffed and they needed this and they needed that. And that's cool. I understand.
Yeah.
But time passes, right? Like, how long are you going to run short-staffed? How long are we not going to start to hear the hype? Because that's what I'm waiting for. When does the hype train start for, hey, we're launching this or our TV deal is going to be that? Like, when is that hype train going to start? Because I think it should start as soon as possible.
But here's the other thing I think that you have to remember here as we talk about the NFL Sunday ticket going to YouTube TV, which is absolutely one of the biggest stories in sports this morning on the show, presented by Quick Quack Car Wash. It's going to snow today. Make sure you get to Quick Quack Car Wash because you don't want to ruin your paint. You don't want corrosion. You don't want all that bad stuff to happen to the rig. Make sure you get to Quick Quack Car Wash. You're in and out in 5 minutes. And again, I just like doing business with friendly people, and we bitch about service on this show so often.
And we're going to do it again today.
You don't have that problem at Quick Quack. They're really nice people. They smile all the time. They're quick. It's efficient, and your car comes out looking amazing.
Well, it's literally in their name. Quick Quack.
Yeah.
Like, they have to live up to it, and they do every single time.
I totally agree. It's quick, it's efficient, they're friendly, and it's affordable. Again, I paid $21.99 a month. Yes, they advertise on the show, but I'm a big believer in, hey, if my friend owns a bake shop, like our listener Amber is a cupcake queen, so I'm going to buy my birthday cake from her. I'm not going to go to Costco. I'm not going to go to Harmon's. I'm going to go through a small business owner who's trying to build something for herself and her family. That's what Quick Quack is, right? Like, they're small business people, and I'm going to invest in that company $21.99 a month so I can get one wash or I can get 101 washes. It's totally up to me. The same price no matter how many times you go at Quick Quack Car Wash. You'll love it. Bring the kids. They've got flashing lights and different color soap. Your kids will love it. It's fun at Quick Quack Car Wash. And I do think this Sunday ticket story is going to change your life because the other thing you got to remember here is the Amazon Pac-12 deal.
Yeah.
And I think this is a big one because when you look at Amazon in the Pac-12, here's the question you have to ask yourself about TV. How intentional will people be to go find Pac-12 football on Amazon? Well, the biggest issue is not those diehard fans. Oh, my son plays at Utah, got to go get Amazon Prime. Of course, they're going to watch. The question is, what about Jimmy, the college football playoff voter, who accidentally finds USC and Oregon State on Pac-12 After Dark currently on ESPN, which, by the way, 1.6 million people a week watch the late window Pac-12 game on ESPN.
Nah, nobody watches that window.
Here's the issue, though. When you go full stream, what goes away? Well, windows and time go away. So are you really telling me that the Pac-12 and Amazon are going to be able to cut a deal where you're going to accidentally get, what is it, probably 300,000 people had no idea that game was on TV, and they flipped over to watch ESPN. They were looking for SportsCenter, and they happened to see a Pac-12 late window game. That's real viewership, folks. In the bar. Here's the other thing that I think a lot of people forget.
Yeah.
Think about on a Saturday night, how many kids in college towns are in bars? A lot. How many people are in restaurants in Los
Public
Angeles?
places, man.
Where there's SportsCenter on the TV. Well, it's not SportsCenter in the late night window. It's 7:30 Pacific time, 10:30 Eastern. It's dinner time in Los Angeles.
Well, think about,
and they accidentally see a Pac-12 football game.
Think about our guy Taylor up in Ogden at the Super Chicks.
Yeah.
They use YouTube TV in their Super Chicks. And that's what I think is really, really fascinating now is like, if the Pac-12 or what's going to be the Pac-10 is going to be on Amazon, that business isn't going to flip back and forth.
No.
That business isn't going to be like, oh, yeah, hey, by the way, I've got 20 people out the door because we're so damn good at what we do. Let me take 5 minutes, jump off the line, and flip over to Amazon.
And when we were up at Super Chicks in Ogden, we were watching the Oregon State game.
Yeah.
On television at Super Chicks. That's no longer going to be an option if you go to Amazon to stream your games. And I think that's absolutely real. And the other thing that I would remind you is, let's not forget that NBC and Peacock have Big Ten After Dark now.
Where's Peacock at in your guys' stack?
Nowhere.
Like, because I don't watch Peacock.
Nowhere.
I can honestly say I have never consumed a second of Peacock's content.
And by the way, I'm a huge NBC viewer.
Yeah.
Like I am an SVU, Law and Order, all of the Law and Orders,
Yeah,
Chicago PD,
Fire, Ambulance,
settle
Law and
down.
Order.
Hey, settle
sorry,
down.
My bad.
Settle
sorry,
down.
sorry.
Chicago PD is the only Chicago series I watch.
Seriously.
But Chicago PD and all the SVUs, and I'm an NBC viewer. I am not watching Peacock. I'm not. And I actually think my Amazon or my American Express Platinum gives me Peacock for free.
And you still don't
And
watch
I
it.
still don't watch it. I don't. And the real issue for the Pac-10 now is, you know that you've lost UCLA and USC.
Right.
Are you more valuable on Amazon than the Big Ten After Dark, USC and Ohio State at the Coliseum in Los Angeles?
We all know the
Are you
answer.
more valuable than that game?
We know
on
the
Amazon.
answer.
And that game's and that USC Ohio State game is on NBC at 10:30 Eastern.
I think your point about people having to actively think, oh, the Pac-12 is on Amazon, I better go out of my way to go find it. I think that's a great point because I can't tell you how many times, like when we worked at the Yelpatory, right? I always had baseball on in the background during the summer. Always. It was religious for me. And I didn't know the baseball schedule every day. I didn't know, like, I wasn't that invested, but I love baseball. Like, I wanted it on the tube. I wanted, you remember when Fernando Tatis of the Padres first came into the league and set everything on fire? Like, I needed to see every Padre game for like a month straight. So I had it on TV, but I didn't know what time they were playing. I just turned the tube on and was like, all right, let me go to channel 750 on DirecTV to, MLB Extra Innings package and see what we got going. On a Saturday night, when I've had a long-ass week doing the show and getting up at 4 a.m. every day, I'm not going to think to myself, oh, yeah, well, hey, Stanford's playing Cal. Better go out of my way to get on Amazon to see that game.
Well,
right?
Wait, there is one succinct point that I think, really tells the story here, and it was filtered, so I just showed it. But Jeff Johnson says, suck it, Peacock.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I'm sorry. I thought you said suck it, Peacock.
I thought you said suck it, Peacock.
Keep it real.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. Let's see. Brett Robbins says, I got the quick, but what's the quack? It's a car wash.
Yeah, it's a car wash. You should try it. Like, so there's this
quick
app
quack.
on your phone. Well, if you're smart and you have an iPhone, there's something called Apple Maps where you can type in "quick quack car wash" and it'll tell you like where the closest one is, so you can go and try it.
How often do you guys get your car washed? I get my car washed probably 2 times a week, at least in the summertime.
Yeah.
And I get my car washed pretty much every time it snows in the wintertime. Mm-hmm. I love my car. I have an Audi SQ5. I was so flattered the other day. Did I tell this story on the show?
Briefly, but you should tell it again.
Yeah, like I'm sitting outside of Ulta, the makeup store with my wife. She's in Ulta getting eyeliner or whatever $1 million product they sell. And I, of course, as a man, I'm not going into Ulta. I'm not doing it, right? Like I don't want my testosterone. Yeah, I don't want my testosterone to drop.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting out front of Ulta in a parking spot waiting for Mrs. Monty to come out. And this little kid walks up to my Audi and he's like, "Hey, I love your car. Is this an SQ5?" And he started asking me all these questions. And
Like, how old was this kid?
6 or 7. And he's talking about like how big my brakes are. And he's like, "They're cool. They've got those little dots on them." And he's like just going on and on about the car. And it was just really cool. And he's talking about how he can see his reflection in my door. And it's like, yeah, dude, because I go to Quick Quack Car Wash. And it's just, I'm that guy. So I spend a lot of money to keep my car looking fresh.
Yeah.
So, Troy Cushing says, "Morning, guys. Morning, Matt, guys. Great work as always. Appreciate you. Thank you." Kurt Meyer says, "Paramount Yellowstone."
See, but again,
I haven't watched
but
it
that's
yet.
the difference.
I
See,
haven't watched it yet.
So but think about it, Kurt. I think it's a great point. You wouldn't be on Paramount unless Yellowstone was there.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Or maybe Kurt, how did you get to Paramount? Did you get to Paramount, to Jake's point, only because of Yellowstone? Like, that's what's fascinating to
Yeah.
me. How did you wind up? Like, I used to subscribe to Peacock because of the Premier League.
right.
I don't subscribe to Peacock anymore.
And you get pissed like once a month when Chelsea's on Peacock exclusively.
I don't even get me started. Anyway, the point is,
Yeah.
how did you find that? Pied Piper says, "I only have Peacock because it came with my internet package. I use it to watch The Office. That's it."
See,
Oh,
but
so
again,
good.
see, an iconic show, that's the only show that you're watching. So that's why I keep saying, I don't think that, with all due respect to Amazon, I don't think that the Pac-10 going to Amazon is some smashing success. Like, I think it'll be fine, but it's not going to be like take over the world level stuff. Like, I think your point about SC in the Ohio State
See, I didn't
in
interrupt you.
SoCal is
Yeah.
way more attractive than any of the Pac-12,
And I
Pac-10
think
matchups.
that's the issue. If the Pac-10 becomes a stream-only league, I think they're screwed.
Yeah.
The NBA is going to, if the NBA, let's say the NBA League Pass was only stream, and I think they're moving that direction, by the way, and because they're going to figure out the NBA app, trust me, because it sucks right now. But if they move the NBA package to stream only, people are going to go and find that. NFL Sunday Ticket, if it goes to YouTube TV, and that's the headline here, by the way, that the NFL package is going to YouTube TV. And let's kick off football at 50 with that story. Make sure you use the promo code Monty25 when you order your Papa Murphy's Pizza. Get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more. Are you guys pizzaing during the holiday? Because I
Yes.
absolutely am.
Yes.
I absolutely
Yes.
am. I'm all fired up for Christmas dinner, but I'm Papa Murphying that Saturday night. But on Christmas Eve, yes.
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 Avi.
Make sure you use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more. And the big story in the NFL, yes, the NFL Sunday Ticket, as we told you a couple of weeks ago, is headed to YouTube TV. What do you pay for YouTube TV a month? What do we pay here?
It's a tiered package.
I think it's
but
$62 a
That's
month.
the base package. I think the mid-level is 80. So,
Yeah. So you're going to pay $100 a month to have Sunday Ticket. There's no doubt about that.
yeah, I think $100 a month is the standard number. Like, I'm paying like about 130 because I have a couple of packages. So, like,
I got a couple of packages.
Yeah, I got a couple of packages that are not on Peacock. So that's the number. But I just, like, the reason I looked into this so heavy last night is we are going on the road. We're going on vacation, and I want to be able to open my iPhone 13 Pro Max 1 terabyte gold amazing phone and get jazz. I want to be able to get that content, and I will because I am doing the NBA app thing, but it's just frustrating.
But you know the crazy thing? The crazy thing is, I think we're willing to pay it.
Yeah,
I think we're. I think if. Dude, I'm not giving up the NBA package. I'm not giving up NFL Sunday Ticket. I love it so much.
Well, again, it's different for us because it's a tax write-off. We need it for our business. So if you're somebody who doesn't have a business and you're just talking about this just to pay for it out of your pocket, like, yeah, I think there's a conversation around it. But I'm about it. Like, I want to be able to, like, I swear to God, I will have my TV on one game, my computer on another. Like, I'm that guy at night. I do that all the time.
I love YouTube TV.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
And by the way, I think on the NBA thing, I do think it would go to YouTube TV because they have advertised through the NBA playoffs multiple times.
A ton, yeah.
Like, so they have a relationship.
And by the way, I would again point out who owns YouTube and YouTube TV.
Yeah.
Google.
Yep.
So, I mean, they know the ad game really well. I think it's fascinating, and I think we're willing to pay for it. I think we're willing to pay for it. I truly do. It just, yeah. Arlington Bears, good morning, says, I wash my truck 2 to 4 times a week, full inside and out.
Well,
you know, one of the funny things about Quick Quack is I love their vacuums. I love that you get a towel and the vacuum's super easy. Dude, I'm telling you. Karn, I'm with you on that. Let's see. Where are you guys at on Zachy Poo? Because I do want to update this story. Zach Wilson is starting for the Jets tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football, which is only on Amazon Prime Video. Zachy Poo is getting a start for the Jets again. And let's make this real clear. Zach Wilson did not suck last weekend. He just wasn't it. They should have won that game by 2 scores, and they didn't. And Zach Wilson was a big part of that. He was not terrible, but he wasn't as good as he needed to be. Does Zach Wilson ever become a top 10 quarterback in the NFL?
I don't know about top 10, but I think that I think the answer to that question lies in what opportunities he gets. I mean, I don't think with the Jets he'll become that guy, but I think he needs to get to a better situation. And I've said this repeatedly. I said it before he was drafted. If he's going to the Jets, he's not going to be anything in the league because the Jets don't know how to develop quarterbacks, and we've seen it time and time again.
But that's a good football team.
Yeah, I guess.
That's a good football team.
How good? Like, I'm tired of saying the Jets are a good football team.
They're a playoff team.
Yeah, but they're not going to win anything. Like,
right, but
they're going to go to the playoffs.
But in the NFL, it's a stepping stone. Usually crappy teams like the Jets, and they've been bad for a long time. You take that next step up to the NFL playoffs, right?
Right.
And then you become a consistent contender. But it always starts with the quarterbacks. And speaking of quarterbacks, you guys, 19 teams are said to need a new quarterback. So let's play the game. Who in the NFL is going to need a new quarterback? Let's start with the bottom. Let's just go bottom 5-7 teams. The Houston Texans.
Yes.
The Denver Broncos.
Yes, but no, because they're not moving on from that deal yet.
Russell Wilson. I do not believe that Russell Wilson's the problem in Denver. I know that's probably, oh my God, you're an idiot.
What are you talking about, bro?
Hey, bro, do you even watch Bronco games?
What are you guys talking about?
I don't think that Russell Wilson just forgot how to quarterback, bro. I think the issue is your coach is trash. That's what I think. Your coach is trash. Bottom line, your coach is trash.
Yeah, your Hackett of a coach hacked it up.
I think Nathaniel Hackett's an embarrassment as a head coach.
Yeah.
And I think if you bring in an offensive guy, because you have a really good defense in Denver, you just don't have an offense.
Yeah.
And if you bring in an offensive guy, I think you're going to be fine. You cannot tell me that Russ just forgot how to quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't buy that for a second. Indianapolis, absolutely. Pittsburgh, absolutely. Cleveland, done. The Las Vegas Raiders. And we have battled on this week.
I think here's my main point. I don't think Derek Carr sucks or is some terrible quarterback.
Better than Zach Wilson.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay, good.
Derek Carr is good enough to take you to the playoffs, not good enough to win a Super Bowl. That's the problem. And I think that Las Vegas is not,
LA, please.
is not elite enough as an organization to go places. And that's the problem.
I'm telling you now. Derek Carr is not the problem. And if you're in the group, and there's a huge group, if you're in the group that thinks if they had a better quarterback, they would be a better team, I disagree with you.
Yeah,
I just don't
think
see that.
I think that the Raiders have been inept as an organization for a long time. Look at the Gruden and Mayock time. Look at the ownership. Look at how that all panned out. Like Derek Carr's been there through all of that. I agree. He's not Patrick Mahomes.
And they're a
get it.
terrible defensive team.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
How?
Like, I don't think it's all on Derek Carr, but I also don't think the guy's sliced bread. You know, like,
Chicago Bears.
yeah, they need a new quarterback.
No, they don't. Justin Fields is our guy.
Okay. Yeah, our
We'll
guy.
find out.
Right.
The LA Rams, yes. The Arizona Cardinals, yes.
Whoa, the Rams have Baker. Come on.
That's a good point. Did you guys hear Matthew Stafford? You want to talk about football hurting?
Dude.
Matthew Stafford has a spinal contusion.
Dude, I'm not here for spinal bruising.
By the way, one other story this morning. Franco Harris, the Hall of Famer for the Pittsburgh Steelers, passed away this morning at the age of 72. And he is one of those guys, I'm probably aging myself. He is one of those guys that absolutely brought me to the NFL. Franco Harris and those Pittsburgh Steelers at the end of that run. I have memories as a kid. You know those foggy-ass memories in the back of your head?
Yes.
You're like, I remember
What
shag
was
carpeting.
What was I eating when I was watching that game?
I remember
Like,
shag carpeting as a kid. I have those memories of Pittsburgh Steelers on the television as a kid. Franco Harris dies this morning at the age of 72, according to his family. So rest in peace, my friend. Make sure you get to Papa Murphy's Pizza and you use the promo code Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, carefully knead dough. Step 2, artfully spread sauce. Step 3, add fresh mozzarella and assemble toppings. Step 4, realize we already did all that for you, so all you have to do is bake it. For a limited time only, get the Hog Heaven Pizza with Canadian bacon, ground sausage, and crispy bacon. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
By the way, I should say I need to apologize. Let me single up. I'm pathetic. I need to apologize. I undersold the lead. The meatball marinara pizza's back at Papa Murphy's Pizza, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.